Like someone that I knew felt like they were entitled to me because they knew me when I was much younger. And through following me online, they felt like they could almost perpetuate that there was still some type of actual like connection between us. Hello everyone, thank you for joining me for another video. If you are returning, and thank you for anyone who is new. I'm sorry if I'm smiling so hard. I'm just feeling good. I'm happy that the weekend is almost here. As you can see from the title and thumbnail, this video is just going to be me talking about entitlement and social media and how social media makes people feel more entitled. And if you don't know what I mean by that, stick around and watch. So the main reason why I made this video is because I am tired of all of us, yes, myself included. So the main reason I made this video, if I'm being quite honest, is just because I am tired of the entitlement that we all feel from social media. And I mean all of us. I don't think that there's anyone who is watching this who hasn't felt like if you were arguing with a friend of yours and they posted something that it had to be about you. So now when you approach them about it, that's you being entitled, because social media is not real life. So a post is not always directed at you. Another example that I kind of want to bring up is just regular relationships, whether it's friends or the person you're romantically involved with. You feeling like because you texted them 5 minutes ago but they posted on Instagram 3 minutes ago that they have to respond. And don't get me wrong, we all know when someone is talking about us, for the most part, not always, sometimes you can just be dead wrong, let's be real. But majority of the time, depending on who the person is, you'll know. Like for me, I have the worst social anxiety. So sometimes I will back out of things. And my friends already know. But before it will be, I'm going to text back late. But I have had experiences in dating and friendships where people felt entitled. And it's not a thing that anyone really brings up, but it's like become like this cultural thing. And I think that we should not normalize it, and that we all should work on like being more present, if that makes sense. So I'm just gonna be talking about entitlement, navigating your relationships via social media, and just my opinions or experiences with it. So I just want to start off by looking up the definition of entitlement, and then I will read the definition that closely relates to this discussion. The definition of entitlement is the belief that one is inherently deserving of privileges or special treatment. This person's mind, they feel like, well, it's me, so this person should respond, or we're in a relationship, so they should text me this X amount of times. And the honest truth is that you are not in control of another person's actions. You are only in control of your actions and how you respond and how you treat the other person. But also, seeing someone post a photo online, a photo can be posted from years ago, right? So I post old photos when I don't feel like being social, when I don't want to post online, even though I know that like people expect to see me posting just because they're used to seeing me online. So it's just kind of like, let's get out of thinking as social, like thinking of social media and like the internet as being real life. Now, people do share their real life experiences, But a lot of the time when you think about social media, you only get a fragment, a glimpse. So someone can post, of course, their engagement photos, right? For example. And you see the engagement photos and you're like, wow, I went to school with this person. I'm so happy for them. That doesn't mean that when you message them, oh, congratulations, like I would like to come, or oh, wow, like I'm so happy for you, that they will always respond. And I've definitely seen people get upset if they send someone a happy birthday or this or that online and the person didn't respond. And it's like, we all have been there, but let's get into the why. So quick disclaimer, I have PCOS and insulin resistance. And so with that, I just grow like excessive body hair. And for me, it's like pretty new in a way. So I've always been very hairy, but it's just like my makeup will not sit on my mustache. So if you see my mustache, no, you didn't. Okay, so next I want to talk about what is a sense of entitlement. And what I mean by sense of entitlement is just this person who feels that everyone owes them, like you owe me. Sometimes we hear the word privilege in another way. I'll just say, when you think about white privilege, and I'm not saying that every white person like uses their white privilege and feels entitled about it. What I'm saying is, my best example of having a sense of entitlement is when there is a white person who gets upset about not meeting the same quota almost as other people who are not white, and they may be of another race, color, whatever. The way that they react when they feel like they're entitled. Or another one. Actually, when you think about a sense of entitlement in regards to social media relationships and the dynamic of it all, the best example of this is DMs. We all know that whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere got DMs now, right? People will literally keep DMing you. I don't know a woman who hasn't experienced a man constantly messaging them, but like you weren't responding. So it will be like, they're like, hey, beautiful. Then the next day, hey. And before anyone comes in my comments talking about how you can just block them, you never know what people are going through in life. So I always try to leave an ear or eye open if I can, at least get people to, an actual resource or safe place. So for me, I won't necessarily just block people right away. I feel like sometimes when people do try to build relationships online, it's because they are not as confident in person. But one thing I can say is that through being able to easily have conversation with people, it kind of took like the fun out of social media. And please, 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 someone has to know what I mean by this. So the reason I said being so easily able to just message people, it sucks sometimes, because I mean, if you think about celebrities online and how anyone can DM them, I know when I had celebrity crushes, I definitely thought like, okay, let me DM this person. Sorry, I don't know what is on my shirt. But think about the experiences I've had with people, and actually I have a great example. For the people who don't know, I did my undergrad in New Jersey. And I remember this person following me on Instagram, and we had spoken a few times via Instagram. I thought, okay, we're off to being friends. And I'm a late bloomer, quote unquote. Like, I had a boyfriend in high school, and I mean, yeah, I had a boyfriend in high school. That was about it. And then when it came to college, I didn't really like date or talk to people like seriously until I was like 21. So I feel like I'm definitely a late bloomer. But anyway, this person asked me if we could meet up for a date. So I hadn't actually met them yet, right? And I knew that they were somewhat interested in me. And I thought, okay, well, I'm interested in them a little bit, but let's see what they have to say, because I want to know that we're not going to waste each other's time. But also, I need to meet this person and see who they really are, because people can type anything. That's the fun of social media to a lot of people. That's the appeal of it, is that you can be whoever you want. And I feel like it's not really talked about enough. Sorry, but jumping back into this story time that I'm using as an example of this sense of entitlement. I think that anywhere where Black people are tapped into the Black community and culture, people will know people. Especially for me, I'm from DC, but I had friends in Jersey. So this person that I was going to go meet for my date, they actually knew. My friend had a friend that they knew, so we had like mutual friends. And so I didn't even go on this date yet with this person. We haven't met yet. Nothing has happened. Like, this is so new into speaking. My friend goes, oh, I see you, like, you got a boo. And me, I'm the type of person, like, when it comes to dating, I'm pretty private. Only because, like, my dating life has been pretty messy. So yeah, I don't mean messy like I'm just not even want to get into it, but I'm sorry that I keep going off topic. But long story short, I was pretty nervous to still go, because my friend came up like, oh, like, hey, like, I heard about this person, like, they said that y'all are together. And I'm like, together? So my friend like, oh, don't tell them that I said that. Like, he said like that you didn't want anybody to know. And I'm just like, I said, I haven't even met the man yet. I'm going to go meet him tomorrow. I ain't even, you know what I'm saying? I haven't even met you. We haven't even gotten to this point of where, like, let's meet up, let's hang out, let's be friends. And things went exactly how I thought that they went. I still went on a date. Yes, I did, which is crazy. But just that needing to put this ownership on me, it immediately turned me off, especially from doing any type of dating online, because it is scary. And even when you keep up with older friends online, let me tell y'all this, just because you see someone that you knew years before and you saw them in person years before, doesn't mean that you know who they are now as a person. You don't know what they are about or what they do, because all you have is a photo. You don't have anything that is live action. You know what I'm saying? So people don't know how to sometimes go past that. Like, people really live in this mindset of, okay, like, life is like, you know, a game. And it's like, you don't know them people. I had a very, 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 like, someone that I knew felt like they were entitled to me because they knew me when I was much younger. And through following me online, they felt like they could almost perpetuate that there was still some type of actual, like, connection between us. And there really wasn't. And it's absolutely terrifying to think about. Like, I'm being quite honest, it's very scary when I think about it. And what this person did to me, I will never be able to forgive them for. And I just want people to know that what you see online, you cannot take at face value when you meet people. So I'm just straight from the source with it, you guys. Like, I'm reading from WebMD about entitlement, and it talks about how it can be due to social factors like how you grew up, the way your parents treated you, whether adults solved your problems for you. I was on to talk about how people with this mentality, they often see themselves as like superior. And I have had that experience via social media with a lot of nice people. Everyone knows this person that all they do is talk about, oh, I'm such a nice person. I'm such a nice person. Like, I don't do anything. Like, there's no way that everything, like, nothing is your fault. Like, I've been in so many messed up situations, but I do have to turn around and say, well, this, you know, I do play a part in this way. So be aware of people who think that just because they're nice to you or they're kind to you, you owe them whatever they want from you. Please don't let anyone like that. Don't be vulnerable around people like that. What I mean by this is that a lot of people feel that, for example, when we get online and maybe we're thinking about someone, whether it be an ex, an old friend, whoever, there's always like this repeated cycle that happens. And I know for me personally, I was always that person that felt like I need to know why this relationship or friendship ended. Like, why, what did I do to this person? Like, what happened? I used to feel like I had to know. And I think what a lot of us tend to do is use like social media as a way to kind of cope with the things that we are still a little frustrated about. And that's how things turn into conflict online. So I hope that like anyone who's watching is like following what I'm saying. So when I talk about entitlement and this person feeling like you should answer, it could be someone reaching out to you because y'all haven't been speaking as much. And now they feel like, oh, well, she told me she was going through this, but I saw her post a drink at happy hour, so she must be fine. There's no way she can be depressed. There's no way she can have all these problems. As if all of a sudden these things disappear. Remember, you can take a video and add the location, add more details, add etc. later. That is the whole point of social media, is to just share experiences. I'm not saying it's not to share your life, but like I said, it's in glimpses. So it kind of rattles me sometimes at how people feel like because they follow me everywhere, or they feel like, yeah, like I feel like people also will ask you for every goddamn social media account you have so that their face could be there, so that if they're texting you and you're not responding, oh, you know they're going to be that person to say, oh, you can't text me back, but you just posted online 5 minutes ago. Or they'll try to watch everything that you do in hopes that you're going to reach out. I know so many people like that, and that's exactly why I let they ass watch. When I talk about the culture of entitlement on social media, I do not only mean as far as a relationship standpoint. I also think that it's important to think about the consumer part of it and how it can easily affect businesses. So we kind of live in this world where like everything is fast, okay? We got fast fashion, we have social media, we got Amazon Prime, and we even have our little 7-second videos on TikTok, whatever. As we are becoming this culture of people, especially the younger people, like the children that are on iPads. I'm not telling anyone how to parent. I'm not giving an opinion. I'm just giving an example. But just people being more knowledgeable of technology, and it's come a long way since the year 2000. Really, like, I do remember the days of having to, you couldn't talk on the phone and be on the internet at the same time. So just to know like where we are now with technology is like absolutely mind-blowing. But there's this whole other side of it that people don't talk about. Let me just break it down in a simple way. So I'll link this article below, but there's just this little snippet that I will include at the bottom of my screen. But it's just like, I guess in the article citing another source. It says, according to the sociometer theory, our self-esteem is affected by our social affiliations. If we are socially excluded, our self-esteem is reduced. But if we are socially included, we feel a rise in self-esteem, which reaffirms our positive social behavior. Essentially, by looking to our peers for feedback on our behavior, we learn what is socially acceptable and unacceptable within a given group. When relating the sociometer theory to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and other similar sites, TikTok, these forums can be seen as a way to measure our level of social acceptability within a set peer group through likes, shares, and comments on our social media posts. And this snippet is so true, because I realized how me growing up in the early 2000s, I was born in 1995. I'll be 27 next month. I took in a lot of white film culture, and I always daydreamed of being super thin and, you know, just having this type of life that just, you know, was not even, it wasn't here in my mind. And I feel like nowadays with social media, I'm not saying that everyone can't get rich or everyone cannot build a nice life for themselves, but people tend to think that being able to DM someone online or leave a comment puts you in this proximity towards them. And it's like, realistically, when you think about celebrities responding to comments online, unless you are someone who is like a TikToker that's well known, or YouTuber that's well known, or someone with an online presence yourself, of course celebrities aren't going to stalk down every person that, you know, DMs them, contacts them. But we have gotten into this mindset also, like, where it does have this potential risk, because people do some things online out of a lack of self-esteem. And no, I'm not talking about women twerking, anybody being naked, nothing like that. I'm saying that people go online to hopefully get that acceptance that they don't feel like they get in their everyday life. And I think that that can sometimes lead to negative outcomes, because people are not aware of like the social, like they don't know how to, like they almost don't even know how to socialize. And I've definitely experienced people who think that because they've liked an Instagram post or DM me or reposted something, that they're entitled to my time, they're entitled to my conversation. And I'm the type of person, I like talking to people, sometimes I don't. People see, not only do people feel entitled to be communicated with or to get whatever they want or to get all of these things like so quick and easy, but people also like, they kind of use that thought process when it comes to online relationships and dynamics. I don't know if anyone has any stories of meeting someone online, having a great friendship dynamic with them, and then seeing who they were as a person, it kind of like turned you off or it scared you, or just, you know, it just felt awkward and uncomfortable. I've had that experience so many times with trying to put myself out there more. I'm not really good at friendships anyway, I'm being quite honest, because people, any relationships that you want to last, you have to put a lot of effort into. And as someone who has been dealing with trauma since I was a child, I'm trying to make it mentally, and I want to be there for people. But because I am someone who, it's easy to talk to me, a lot of people trauma dump. So people do it via social media because people feel like they're entitled to that conversation with you. That's what I kind of mean by it. But so I just want to end this video by saying that we all have either been way too intrusive or entitled on social media, or we have experienced someone doing that to us. And I'm not quite sure what solution I would have, because anything that exists that has positives to it has negatives. Social media has a lot of negatives to it, like the fact that people feel like they can leave and say the things that they want to do with no consequence, but then we learned that there are consequences. So I just kind of wanted to share how people can create a narrative in their mind via social media, and it's important to make sure that you know who you follow, why you follow them. Do what's best for you. You may care about people, but at some point it comes at an expense, and if it becomes too expensive, you really gotta just, you know, close the tab on them, close the tab, and that's that. I'm sending love to everyone who watched my video, shared it. If you like, if you comment, subscribe. I just want to say thank you. I'm hopefully going to be posting a video doing my hair and talking about what, I'm not sure yet. I just have to see how I feel the rest of this day. But yes, I will see you in the next video. Bye.